And I think that a lot of people that are out there that are doing these, side hustles that are working a 9 to 5, this could work perfectly for them without breaking the bank.
Yeah, and I want to add to that too because it's funny you said that. I cannot find anybody that is any quality for less than $30 an hour. It's ridiculous. And you have virtual assistants that have 4-year college degrees, for less, $10.60 an hour. I've got dreams, I've got dreams, I've got dreams to find a way out. I've got dreams, I've got dreams, I've got dreams.
Today I'm talking with Bob Lachance, who went from pro hockey to building one of the top virtual assistant companies in the country. We talk about how any small business, not just real estate, can use VAs to grow, get organized, and buy back their time.
So, Bob, for those that don't know you, can you please give us a quick version of your story? I know you were drafted by the St. Louis Blues.
I was.
You played professional hockey and then somehow ended up in real estate. I want to hear that whole story, how it went down.
All right, I'll give you a 2-second rundown before I got into, we're going back now. As you can tell, my grays are not,
I'm with you there, man. I'm with you.
Why do the grays start right here on the beard? Just doesn't make any sense. But anyway,
they start right here and underneath. It's like my neck is all gray and I got a little bit of brown still stuck in there, but it's weird.
That's it. All right, so I started investing back in 2004. Prior to that, like I said, I played professional hockey for 8 years. I went to Boston University, got drafted, like I said, by the St. Louis Blues in the 6th round. Fortunate enough, spent 4 years at Boston University, won a national championship, which was pretty cool. And then my final year, got offered a contract to play for, in the St. Louis Blues organization, because when you sign a contract, you still got to make the team.
Yeah.
So I did not end up making it. I played one exhibition game with them, which was pretty cool. But I ended up playing in the minor leagues for 4 years here in the U.S., went over to Europe, played 4 more years, and then, reality hit. I had a wife and kid at home, and it was either, I don't know, to go around the world and try to figure out how you're going to make, pay your bills by the time you retire. Because I was always thinking about, sports don't last forever, unfortunately. So anyway, when I decided to retire, it was either go back to school because I left 2 classes short of getting my degree, or jump into an industry that does not need or has 0 barriers of entry. So yeah. I ended up going into real estate because, we all do those studies. We read books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and, the richest people, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So jumped into real estate, and my first deal, I started door knocking and met a business partner. My first deal was actually a rehab. Then I jumped into the short sale world. This is back in 2004. And then we were extremely busy, helped start a real estate education company. And then while I was flipping, lending, and teaching students, I was always looking for some sort of service or product that was going to help our students do tasks more or fulfill their tasks. Because what would happen, and you probably hear this a lot, regular investors or people that you went through the rat race, right? You had a job and you're doing real estate on the side. So that was a lot of our student base. So I was always saying, there's got to be something out there, service, product, something that will help them do that. Because I would get on a coaching call one week, and then the next week they'd book another call, and I'd say, hey, what'd you do? Well, nothing. Basically, they didn't do anything. So I was always trying to look at it. Literally, this is back in 2007, 8, 9, 10. And then finally in 2013, I got introduced to what a virtual assistant was. And I'm like, hold on, I think we got something here. So I hired my first VA, and then a light bulb went on. I said, there's a business here. I just don't know what it is, but I know there's a business here because this is a needed product.
Yes.
So I got my VA and I put them through our training that we created. And then I was like, all right, we got something. Then I had a business partner back 2014, and all of my virtual assistants are out of the Philippines. And he had the opportunity to go back and forth where I didn't, because at that time I had 3 kids and coaching hockey and all that kind of good stuff. So my job was over here, and his job was go back and forth and kind of build the infrastructure with me. And then fast forward today, a different company, but we have a real estate line because I also have a real estate business. I'll tell you about that in a second. We have a medical line and a real estate line for virtual assistant services. And we use our own VAs in our own business. I know we'll get to this, but we did over 230 transactions last year and set to do a little bit more this year.
So that's for your real estate business where you're leveraging the VAs from your other business
correct.
that have been trained already and vetted, so they know what they're doing from day one.
All trained and vetted. So, and I know you do the same thing. It's you have your core business, and there's always ways to build businesses off of that core business, which
there is,
which real estate, what property management, buying and holding, fixing and flipping, construction,
yes.
so on and so
yes.
forth.
Yeah. It's crazy how many paths and avenues can branch off of just from real estate, right? When you start investing in real estate, you start seeing all these missing pieces and stumbling blocks, and you start fixing them, and then you realize, wow, me fixing them is creating a new business.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just, because there's some listeners right now that you said VA and they're like, virtual? Is it like a virtual person? Is it a real person? Can you just break down what a VA is?
It's very simple. Since COVID now, I think people are more kind of understanding of what a virtual assistant is. So for me, all of our virtual assistants are in the Philippines. No matter what, you could have a virtual assistant in another state, in another town that does not work in your office. So it's very commonplace now. You have virtual staff. Doctors' offices have virtual staff, not even in that office. You have real estate offices, brokerages, investment offices, same thing. Property management, a lot of that is all outsourced to virtual staff. So just to keep it simple, it's someone who does not work in your office is a virtual person or assistant, if you will.
Now, are these virtual assistants typically working for other people too, not just yourself?
Yeah, we have two models. One is a part-time model, so a 20-hour-a-week virtual assistant. They'll have two clients, and then a full-time virtual assistant, 40 hours a week. They'll have one client dedicated to you.
Okay, so let's just break this down. So I'm a real estate investor. I'm hunting down my next deal, and I don't have the time to go door knocking. I don't have the time to start, cold calling people. So what can a virtual assistant do for me as far as bringing me leads? And also boiling it down so that they're like real leads that we can actually do something with.
Yeah, so basically very simple. They could either, depending on what you want to do for marketing, right? Are they calling back your PPC leads? Are they taking calls in from your direct mail? Are they following up on older leads? Are they direct to seller calling? Are they just reaching out directly? So what we do is we have them reach out, either take inbound or they're going outbound. They pre-screen that lead. What they do is they go back and forth information, and then they pick up the phone. They say, listen, we're a home buying company. We're looking to buy 3 to 4 houses in your area this year. Are you interested in selling? Or this month, are you interested in selling? They say yes. Perfect. Okay, I'll have my partner or my boss give you a call back at this time. Are you free? Yes, no. So that's a lead. That's a warm lead. It's a lot better than throwing stuff out and hoping somebody calls back. That's a warm lead that we love in our office. So we do this. That system I use for myself to be able to drive in leads for our sales floor to close, for us to buy and resell.
Okay, and a virtual assistant could also help. Let's say I'm a realtor and I'm just looking for the traditional buyers and sellers.
Mm-hmm.
These VAs could also help with that lead generation as well, right?
They could do all that lead generation as well.
Property management. I have maintenance issues. People calling in. They can jump. I could give them an email and everything. What about the phone number? Do you guys have a system that you provide so that they have like a local number and all that stuff?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. We use Zoom, and then we also use smartphone with a local number.
Okay, cool. So what's the typical cost of having a VA?
Yep. That's
like, let's say I wanted to replace a 40-hour-a-week employee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For us, it's $10.60 an hour. They come trained. You get a client service manager that oversees that virtual assistant. So you literally get 2 lines of defense. If you want to add in some training on top of that, your manager partner will also help train them on top of anything new that you want to add to them. So we keep it very standard. I tried every different model. you have companies that say, "Oh, I get them for $3." I'm like, you get what you pay for. Go get them.
Yeah.
So that's why for me, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm very confident in, what we charge because, like I said, I've been doing this for over 10 years and I've seen everything from way higher to way lower. And this is the good ground to where we get to really pour and invest back into our team and infrastructure. We also pay for, invest in their healthcare as well back, in the Philippines.
So when we pay, I'm just curious from like a business, from a like payroll tax perspective, are you just a service that we would like, if I wanted a virtual assistant 40 hours a week, I would pay you as a service and then we get that employee as a part of that service?
Correct.
Okay. So we don't have to worry about any of those
Nothing.
insurance issues. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Quick question, because I know AI is like all over the place right now and it's replacing a lot of these. I mean, they can sit there and talk to you now and everything else and make intelligent decisions. How do you see AI impacting virtual assistants?
I see there's going to be a lot of regulations coming down, to be 100% frank with you, because if you have an outbound voice activated AI calling somebody, there's a lot of fraud going on. I know so I'm reading a lot of articles on how AI, there's unscrupulous people out there that use AI to call someone like my dad, right? Who's 79 years old, and they say, hey, they use our voice. Let's say they take our voice and they put it on a phone and they say, hey, you know what they could do? They could say, hey, send me $1,000 right now because I have your, I have your son in a,
That's real. It's happened. I mean, I literally get a text message every day from some random person that just says, hey, are we still good to meet for coffee or something? And it's
I got that too. I have fun with them.
Who's this?
I actually have fun with those now.
I do too. I have to admit, I do. I go back and forth, and at the very end, I drop in, I'm 13 years old, and then they usually just like, what? They disappear. But no, actually, another thing that happened to my stepdaughter was she got a call from someone, and this guy said that she had my daughter, so her stepsister, held, in handcuffs or something, and that they were going to kill her if she didn't send $500. And she could hear my daughter screaming in the background. It's pretty crazy what they're able to do. The way they're able to emulate the voices and everything else is pretty scary. And now we have video too.
That's why I think it's going to be great. And this is my opinion, right? Because I know I'm buddies with a lot of guys that actually are creating AI. It's going to work not on the outbound, but it may work on a follow-up, right? So the voice is getting pretty good on follow-up. So I always look at, and this is any business, you always have to look at how are you going to lose business? So I have to look at my virtual assistant companies. I may lose some people to AI, 100%. But I also have to put my business hat on and say, how do I use that to my benefit, right? So we're training all of our VAs on AI. So this is how I'm getting ahead of it, because people don't understand or a lot of people don't understand that AI still needs somebody to run it, right? Because what we're talking about is two different things. We're talking about some automated service, but if you want to do video, you still need to understand prompts, understand how to do it. Here's what I'm just saying, because I just had a call today with my VA team, and I changed all of our AI generated content for our own business. So that's something we got to look at, because for us and me to stay ahead of the curve, I'm training all my VAs on AI and how to use it for the benefit of our clients. Doesn't matter what industry.
Okay, well, that's cool. And I think at the end of the day, people really want to talk to somebody.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can tell, it's getting harder, but you can tell just by their responses and everything else. And so as far as the hours go, because I know if these people are working out of the Philippines, I know they're on a different time zone. So can we, like, if I wanted to have someone in Mountain Time, 9 to 5, manning the phones and also responding to email inquiries and stuff like that. And when they're not doing that, they're doing other proactive things that we want them to do. Is that something that you could provide us? And it's like literally $10 a month per person?
Yep. That's the exact same thing. So they work our time zone. So I'm Eastern Standard Time. I live in Connecticut. We do our real estate companies in Connecticut, Mass, Pennsylvania, a little bit of Rhode Island. We were down south back when the hedge funds were buying, but we pulled out of there because obviously, you know, they're not really buying as much right now today. They'll probably open back up and start buying. But we were doing a lot of stuff down south, but we're predominantly up here as well.
Wow, that is cool. And what's the turnover like with these VAs? Because I would think the turnover is pretty high.
For our company, so we offer a lot of different benefits. Like we have our event coming up in November. We'll have a little over 500 virtual assistants showing up. We hold an event in the Philippines once a year. So our turnover is very, very low because we pay them very competitively. We also, you know, pay for a lot of their, like we said, pay for their health care and some other benefits as well. We have some different programs that we offer them. So it's very, very, for us, our stick rate is extremely high.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I know my business is growing right now.
Yep.
And I literally, like, when I first left my 9 to 5, I sat around and just, you know, dropped my kid off at school. I went to the gym for a few hours. Maybe I played golf. And then I started this podcast because I was bored. And then I ended up starting a business. And I'm working probably just as hard as I ever did when I had a corporate job. And so we did hire one full-time employee, and we are looking at like expanding our team right now because we need to. And I'd love to have it. We've been talking about having a VA. So I'm personally definitely interested in talking to you more about this when we get off this podcast. And I think that a lot of people that are out there that are doing these, you know, side hustles that are working a 9 to 5, this could work perfectly for them without breaking the bank.
Yeah, and I want to add to that too, because it's funny you said that. You look at minimum wage in every state, it's only going up, it's not going down. I think in Connecticut, we're already, I think it could have gone up, but we're already at $15.69 per hour. And this is, I mean, I hire here for my real estate company as well, because you need a couple in-house people. I cannot find anybody that is any quality for less than $30 an hour. It's just, it's ridiculous. And you have virtual assistants that have 4-year college degrees, you know, for less, you know, $10.60 an hour.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So that's why for us, you know, if you want to get some great help, it's not cost effective to hire someone in-house. Because think about that, even a $50,000 salary is not only that, you know, you got to pay their health care, you got to pay taxes, you got to pay office space, you got to pay all of it.
Yes. No, that's exactly what we're going through. I mean, I'd rather hire more maintenance guys that are going around fixing issues and stuff like that, but I can't because we still need someone to manhandle the phones, to require or to respond to all these inquiries and everything else that's going on. So it allows a company to expand without breaking the bank. I love that.
Yeah.
And I know that. Well, so let's talk a little bit about, because I think this is another thing people are worried about, is the language barrier, because we've all gotten those cold calls from someone in a call center somewhere. Does it sound like they're in a call center?
I just got one. I literally just got one. I should play it for you too now that we're doing this, but it wasn't good. So it was not good. It was, I think it was someone from, I don't know, whatever country it was, doesn't matter. But all of our VAs, we vet them all. So we go through 1,000 applications per month, just to get the top 5% of those that come out the end. So
okay, and does it sound like they're in a call center where there's tons of people having? Okay,
no, not at all.
Because that's another problem. Like, that's when I get a call like that, I know right away. Okay, this is some virtual assistant or a scam. I can't tell.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm very skeptical, just like you. I am very, very skeptical. I do the same exact thing, and I listen for accents, and because I'll call them right away. Is this a VA? But obviously, the majority of people, you know, that are taking calls don't know that it's what a virtual assistant is either. But
yeah. Well, I would just like to have someone that can pick up the phone. Like right now, we get, you know, at the end of the day, we might have 5, 6, 7 voicemails that we have to get back to. It'd be great if someone could have actually answered the phone, handled the situation, and then let us know if we need to be involved in it or not. Because in some cases, we don't. Right. It's just.
It'd be a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm definitely interested, and I think that this is good. I think that there's a lot of people that are out there listening to this podcast right now. They may be a realtor, they may be a real estate investor, whatever it is they're trying to build and do. I think a VA could definitely help grow your business. So definitely, can you give us a way that people can connect with you and your team and your company?
I mean, we're all over social. You could go directly to our website, which is revaglobal.com. It's REVA global.com. There's a strategy session button on there if you want to talk to our team, just to ask questions and find out if it's a right fit. Again, like I said, I use our virtual assistants in our own real estate business. I can't own a company or sell anything unless I use it.
Makes sense. Well, Bob, it was great, talking with you. I appreciate your time. Everyone else that's out there, I will put links and everything else to your business so people can find you. Hope everyone out there is having a blessed day. God bless.
Thank you.